Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with Michael Anthony Fitness. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. We're here in the shop doing a little bit of work today. Cold's getting a little bit better still. Kind of feel that congestion a bit. But we're working on the table. Michael has been sanding and varnishing it. He's wet sanded this now with 400 grit paper. He's going to put another coat of varnish on it. But we've got our side pieces for our legs. We're going to go ahead and get that glued up, let that set, and then we're going to be able to start finishing putting this thing together. E2, of course, wants to have the base painted white, this gray top. So we're doing what we're doing. Thank everybody. We already got 100 and some people who have subscribed to the new channel. 890 will be able to actually live stream with the cell phone, which will be great. What's I got going? Just working, man. Just trying to work, live the dream, and survive. So thank everybody who's already subscribed. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this thing together. Let's see if I can move the camera over this way so you can actually see this. See us working over here, putting this together. So what we've got is, here's what we got. This is one end, okay? And because this thing is a weird shape, we got 6 legs to go. So we're going to glue these together to make this whole 90-degree tabletop. My bad, you're driving. Well, Mike is sanding out the cross pieces over here, and I'm going to grab my other pieces that I need to start putting this together. So, I'm actually going to try and see if I can put this whole thing together in one go-round, which will be interesting because it's 6 legs. And what we did is, we're doing old style woodworking here. We did a tongue and, mortise and tenon, so that way the other pieces slide right into this. So, I need, let's go down here, let's get the camera. Good morning, how you doing, my man? Oh, Getterman. What a freaking idiot.
The Redskins were going to take him if Haskins wasn't there.
If. That was a big if.
Or the defensive player they wanted wasn't there.
Yeah, well. He's trying to cover his ass now.
No, he got in trouble for that. You didn't see that? You didn't see it when the owner got on him about that? I don't know if it was on ESPN or NFL Network, but
you're talking about the Redskins, or
no? I'm talking about the GM for the Giants got in trouble for his comments.
Well,
because the owner said this is the guy that we wanted.
He's trying to clean it up. You don't want to tell a guy. You don't want the guy to think that we didn't really want you. That you just
no. But he said he got in trouble for saying that too. There have been 2 other teams that I got. No, this is the guy we wanted. See. This is when he got in trouble. That's when he got in trouble too, because the owner put him on blast.
Yeah, well, they are a messed up franchise right now.
Yeah, but they'll do better than the Redskins.
Well,
I'm not saying they'll win the division, but they'll probably do better than the Redskins. The Redskins are gonna be fighting for who's gonna be in the basement this season. One of the 2 teams is gonna be in the basement.
That gentleman is not very smart. Not real good.
Of course he's not. Even if it was true that the Redskins weren't going to take him, you still shouldn't say anything about it. Just let it be. This is the guy we wanted. I can't be honest and say this is the guy we wanted.
Now we're going to find out if my cuts and stuff were correct for this.
If that's the guy you wanted, then just say that's the guy you wanted. You only be undercutting the man.
And that's that, and we'll see the play on the field. I mean, it seems simple and it seems obvious, but it seems like they're struggling to do so, and they can't. They've brought in Cutcliffe also as part of this process. No one knows the right thing to do in this process, and I understand how you can lead an organization, whether it's a professional company or it's a simple PR. It's like this is not going to help.
Michael Anthony, piece on Johnny on the spot.
Sports fans and New York sports fans have been known to yell and scream and then change their minds like that. Remember the kid who was crying when the Knicks drafted Kristaps Porzingis?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that same kid was crying when they traded him away a couple of years later.
Well, okay, let's be honest now. When we drafted Van Der Esch, we weren't happy about it. But you know, a lot of people weren't happy about us getting Tristan Hill. But I'm started doing a little bit more looking at it, and what's funny is I got on the bandwagon of the whole safety thing and got away from my own. You guys, you can go get another zone. Everything. You think you know everything. I'm a coach. I know what happens. You guys may think I'm wrong, but wait until a couple of years.
Now, let's bring a general manager into this conversation. Our phone office insider is Mike Tannenbaum, and he joins us here. But I want to bring you on this as a GM, Mike. How will, realistically, our teams, about other teams draft?
I hope I got these measurements right, because if I didn't, that means I got to start over.
As much information as possible. And you may get a sense of where certain players are going to go, but it's almost impossible to know exactly where a player will be. And I think what Dave Gellman's been trying to say is like, hey, we have a prediction about this guy. We don't know if he would have been there at 17, but at the end of the day, you truly don't know exactly where he was positioned.
Hair off of this. Okay. I'll be right back. Got to take a little piece off of this.
You said very little. So I think there's a time and place for everything. Obviously, New York's, when you have a coach in these jobs, it's a tough market. But Dave's a smart guy who's done this job for a long time. And obviously, they believe in Daniel Jones. I agree with what you guys were discussing.
I need you to hold that up.
He goes down and plays well in the preseason. He does that, will earn the trust and confidence of his teammates, and then now set the foundation to go from there. So I actually think, people will say, well, preseason is meaningless. I think in this case, if Daniel Jones plays well in the preseason, that'll start to change the narrative. And I saw the notes that you sent over.
Okay.
The staff was communicating with you. And I think it was interesting because the Giants have, and through no fault of his own, is not only going to be compared to Dwayne Haskins, whom he was drafted ahead of, but he's going to be compared on some level to the other quarterback who occupies the same stage. Yeah, Brady, no doubt. The threads of this decision started a year ago when they decided to take Saquon Barkley over Sam Darnold. And if I'm a Giants fan, one of the things we're going to be looking at are we better off with Sam Darnold and let's say Josh Allen, the dynamic pass rusher from Kentucky, ironically from Montclair, New Jersey, Saquon Barkley, and let's say, and I think over time we're going to see that play out. So we want Darnold and Josh Allen.
All right, so we're getting there.
Like, look, both young quarterbacks play in the same city, same stadium. So we'll see how it plays out. But that was, to me, the decision they made about getting Daniel Jones at 6 this year really started last year when they decided to take Barkley.
Mike, well done. Thank you so much. It's always good to see you. And I just would put a ribbon on this conversation. You come with a smile. I feel a little bad.
Hopefully, I have enough clamps that are long enough. Uh-oh.
One guy who didn't do anything wrong except get drafted.
And he continues to have to defend himself, but it's not fair to him. Look, they should have just said, this is our game.
Don't undercut me, man. Don't undercut me, man.
We'll take a break. We got plenty still to come here on Get Up. including Stan Gundy picking his top 5 playoff performers. Who's in and who doesn't make the cut? There is at least one name that I think will surprise you. Plus, sneaky big news in college football that could impact how we crown a national champion. And candidly, it's ridiculous. Details on the way. Get them on ESPN.
Okay.
The $2 for $5 meeting that's
Getting there.
It's time to celebrate because 2 for $5 meeting last was back. Gatorade's in.
We're pulling out all the stops and all the big clamps that I hardly ever use.
Get more out of 0.
I switched to Liberty Mutual because they let me customize my insurance. And as a fitness junkie, I customize everything. Like my bike and my calves.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Try to keep the sodas down.
So he is losing that.
Mine.
It's not moving. Oh.
Use but don't enjoy.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Enjoy but don't show it.
Good morning, everybody. Mark Holmes here with Michael Anthony Fitness, and we're actually putting together this crazy ass table.
Infinity, empowered to drive.
This is going to need to go down lower
Justin chooses
so I can get
at work and after.
this one on.
Does it all with the
Because it's not going to let me get this bottom piece.
to provide all to keep him feeling for sure.
I'm going to take this one and put it up underneath of it. So, here, put it on the other side.
Okay, so put your inside it's wear together. Now this is exclusively, okay?
Hopefully I'm not showing any crack to anybody.
And you? What would you do for
Okay.
steal?
Alright, so
It's time for some straight talk. Look, if your wireless bill is
There's a longer
going
one
out of
right
control,
there.
guess what?
this is really kind of complicated. This is one of those projects like something that I've never had to build before.
With Straight Talk Wireless.
So this is like a learning process. But that's one of those things that I enjoy doing, is doing something completely different. Keeps my brain going.
Contracts or mystery fees ever.
And hopefully maybe Saturday we'll take this over to E2's house
What is that?
Mine.
and deliver it for him.
Yes, that is.
Lavender? Yes, it is. It's for me.
But I like the smell.
Give me that little one right there. What do you guys think? Again, let me thank everybody who's already subscribed to the other channel.
Sometimes your
I'm gonna get that thing off the ground,
has a way of becoming your second to last.
and soon we'll be doing some live streams from it. The only problem with YouTube has changed up the rules that now,
900 acres,
in order to live stream,
all before lunch.
you have to
Last Saturday.
have 1,000 subscribers.
We wear our work ethic. We work until the work's done. When it is a few hours of shut-eye to rest up for tomorrow, today we'll finally get something done.
Can you grab some of the clamps that are over there?
You wouldn't feel
And then we got 2 more
So what's that?
structures.
These are hungry for the results. New Miracle Growth Performance Organics. The $2 for $5 Mix and Match deal from McDonald's is back. Superstars over your all-time favorite. It's time to celebrate because 2 for $5 Mix and Match is back.
It's like a tower of those things. Like the Patriots and the Indians.
Didn't route this little edge right here, so I want to route that before we glue it up.
Hey, buy Corona, find your beach, and buy Hyundai. All right, we have fall on Sean Miller in Arizona and maybe other places. All that more as we continue to get up from ESPN.
I need to notch that just a little bit more. Hold on, guys. This has been a trial and error type job here, making this. I've never built anything quite like this before, a corner
SUVs became pretenders, not pioneers.
behind the sofa table.
The difference.
And it's got to,
There are many
after we finish putting it all together, we've got to put,
legends aren't born, they're made.
With Domino's carry-out insurance, we'll remake your order for free.
we've got to put outlets into this.
On the way home, even if it's not your fault. Like if it's whoever that guy is chasing's fault. Or if it's man's best friend's fault. Or even if it is, ultimately, your fault. Carry out Domino's large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99.
It's almost the weekend, everybody.
Domino's carry-out insurance, just bring it back and we'll remake it for free.
Ever wonder why someone would go to the ends of the earth and leap into the unknown? Maybe a better question is, what are you waiting for? Pacifico is brewed for those who follow the road. That's living life for seekers out.
Here for my appointment. No matter who you are, it's important to go for an annual checkup. And when you do, remember to be open and honest with your doctor about how you're feeling. Because how you're doing emotionally affects your physical health and vice versa.
Mr. Danson, would you mind?
I need that longer one that's over there.
Thanks, but I just need you to fill out the medical history.
Go into your annual checkup and check in physically and emotionally. Sickness together all the way. Not to do the age. Okay.
Okay, let's just set this on here for a second and see
I
what it looks
also need
like.
the other one.
Which one? Oh yeah, down the bottom, you're right. You're right, you're right. You're right.
Angels on ESPN.
Morning. If you are
All
like
right, let's see what our job is.
and then were
Will
diagnosed
look
with
like.
ovarian cancer before the age of 75, call Talcum Powder Alert today. You may be
That's what
entitled
you
to
want.
substantial compensation.
On this
Thousands
side.
of women may have been affected. You need an attorney on your side.
There's
Fight
different
for
clips
your
over
rights.
there.
You pay nothing unless we're successful. Don't wait.
That's right.
If you've been harmed, call Talcum
Boom.
Powder Alert
Right
now.
there.
Pauline Hunter, 429-3933.
I was tired of
There.
my calls dropped. It's very frustrating.
Why Blunt chose Verizon.
I was having these issues and my friend said, well, maybe you should switch over to Verizon. And then I heard that I could get Apple Music if I switched over. And I said, boom. Music is very important to me. I come from the techno era, but I'm hip hop at heart.
That's okay. That's better now that Apple Music is.
See what we need to do to make sure that it's
Plus,
square.
with a free Galaxy S10.
So that's what it's gonna be like. Once we take the clamps and stuff off of here, it's gonna sit just like that.
Back on Get Up.
And that's underneath, right?
Last night, Blazers even up their
That's in the
series with the
corner.
Nuggets. In a
Perfect.
game that was not an artistic masterpiece. Sean, what was your primary
And that's
takeaway?
got a little quarter overhang, and that's got a quarter overhang. So bam! So that's what it's gonna be. So Mike, if you can clear off any of the glue residue that is running. Whew. And then you can varnish that. You can let that sit, and then we'll come out and start building the other cabinets. So good morning, everybody. Mark Holmes here with Michael Anthony Fitness, and we're here working on a table from hell. Phew. Still kind of, this cold is still kicking my butt a bit. I feel hot. I mean, real hot. And a little bit lightheaded. But I want to thank everybody who, Redskins Nation, baby. Come on, man. If Garrett doesn't win 2+ playoff games, he's fired. He better win the Super Bowl.
Because like the playoffs will be fired.
Man, I feel lightheaded.
Yeah, the league makes the playoffs.
Of course, Shannon thinks Jerry is full of it, but again, we haven't had a back-to-back 10-win season since '96. Yeah, and here, listen, we've had 3 years in a row of winning seasons, 3 years. 2 of the last 3 we've won the division. So this whole thing, it drives me crazy that, okay, I might be able to understand the Eagles being rated higher than us because, well, they were, 2 years away from winning the Super Bowl. But the Green Bay Packers, I'm sorry, every year the Green Bay Packers are like, oh, they're the 9th best team in football. Green Bay hasn't done anything since 2016. They haven't had a winning season since 2016. So how the hell do you say that the Green Bay Packers are going to be better than the Dallas Cowboys? Seriously. Okay? And to take the doo-doo Browns, who have never, since they've been reincarnated, had a winning season or made the playoffs.
They have to sell that new stadium.
That's
somehow.
Sorry, that's just some bullshit, okay? It's just some bullshit.
Hey, they'll make them look good so they can sell that new stadium.
I guess, but
That's how they do at the Rams. They have to sell that new stadium. Someone has to pay for it.
Well, Aaron Rodgers had the numbers. He didn't have the interceptions, but Aaron Rodgers threw the ball away a lot. You know what? And I've got an interesting thing. The Eagles are actually a ticking time bomb. We're sitting here talking about, oh, we got so many people to pay and stuff. Technically the Eagles have more cap room than we have right now. But what happens for us is right now we have $89 million of cap space next year. And the way they've gone through and set up these new contracts and stuff, we are actually taking the brunt of this stuff early. The problem for the Eagles is they've restructured a lot of contracts and they have a lot of older players that are kicking the can down the road. So when we look at saying next year having 89 million, looking at the Eagles, their cap room shrinks to next to nothing. And then you start seeing players like Deshaun Jackson. Do you think Deshaun Jackson at his age, 31 years old, that 3-4 years down the road, he's still going to be worth a premium? I don't think so. You look at Jason Peters' contract and some of these other guys. They are literally ticking time bombs where they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, okay, they get the benefit of the doubt, but why? Why do they get the benefit of the doubt every year? No, forget that whole thing of they get the benefit of the doubt because of Aaron Rodgers. Look, Aaron Rodgers, they had a great defense, and if Aaron Rodgers is so great, why is it he's only won 1 Super Bowl? And how long ago was that when they did it?
When the Super Bowl was in Dallas.
Yeah, which was, 7 years ago? I'm sorry, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. You know what? Screw that. The team is bad. They just got the coach fired. So all of a sudden you think that they got a coach fired who took them to 2 Super Bowls, that now they're going to be better because they got rid of that guy? Your wide receiver core, thin. We know about wide receivers. You got rid of Randall Cobb, and it's real thin. The defense, they took a buzzsaw to it. So, I get that you'll say, well, Aaron Rodgers, don't worry, I'll be able to play that off. It's just a hair off. I get that you say Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, but you still, I don't care how good a quarterback you were. Big Ben led the league in passing yards last year. Did they make the playoffs? Did they?
I think the Bengals won last year.
No, the Ravens did. Matty Ice, he got a lot of yards last year. Did he make the playoffs? Did he? And he had a great receiving core. Julio Jones, Sanu, Calvin Ridley. So why do we think that Aaron Rodgers without a defense, without wide receivers, is going to be better than the Cowboys that have had 3 winning seasons and are loaded with talent? And the funny thing was, when I was reading this whole thing, The reason why they were talking about the Dallas Cowboys was, well, because they're going to have problems in the future because they've got to pay, all these great players that they have. Regardless if they pay them or not, right now, they're all going to be playing next year. It's not a problem next year. I could see if you said down the road, but come on, man. That's just ridiculous. So, Michael Anthony, what you got going on reaction-wise on your channel? Weren't you doing a video last night? Oh, okay. I thought you were doing one last night. When's your next set?
I'm not sure what I'm doing next. It depends on what comes out on the wire.
Well, I tell you what. Well, tell Michael to get up on the stick that you guys need content, man.
Go on my page and play content.
Go on Michael Anthony's page, reactions. I tell you what has been a gold mine has been the New York Giants. Have you seen some of the numbers out there on some of those Giant fans' reactions? It's been crazy. And Rashid, how'd your video do with Rashid? Yeah, that Rashid. Whew, we got to keep him around just for comic relief. We're planning on going to the Redskins Eagles. I'm sorry.
Somebody wore the Odell Beckham Jr. jersey, and it won't be me.
Oh man.
If the New York Giants lose.
Well, we're going to go to the Giants season opener with Dallas game in Dallas, and we're going to take Rashid with us.
I tried to tell Rashid to behave himself around Dallas Cowboys players.
What, you mean you get him on the sideline?
I said no.
Nah, we're not going to put him on the sideline, man. Nah, we're not going to put that.
I'm not talking about the sideline. I said if you see any Dallas Cowboys players.
Oh, the autograph sign, so definitely see some. Definitely will see some.
I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. If you see what's his name?
Travis Rugged?
No, the Hall of Famer.
Drew Pearson?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what team you root for. If you see Drew Pearson,
I'm telling you.
Legend. I don't care what team you root for.
You're right about that. So, guys, this is here, let me show you guys. This is the top to the table here, and this is actually the table base right here, which has been a little bit complicated to say the least. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff because here's what's cool. I was talking to Cowboys Experience yesterday. The Cowboys, we know what hotel they always stay at when they come to DC. We don't want to put it out there and stuff like that. But Cowboys Experience is also going to be staying at the same hotel. And it's cool because if you stay at the hotel there, or if you just hang out in the lobby, you're seeing the Cowboy players, the coaching staff, you're seeing all of them come into the hotel. So you can actually stay in the hotel that the Dallas Cowboys are the night before they take on the Washington stinking Redskins, which would be cool as can be. So Barry actually said he'll get a room there for us if we want to stay there. It's like, but we only live about 20 minutes away from there, so we don't necessarily, although we could get up in the morning and have breakfast maybe with the team and wish them off. Oh, no, we got to come back home because we got to get ready for the tailgate.
Let's not be a Rico gathers.
But we're talking about having maybe 300 people coming to our thing, which will be huge.
Maybe you want to stay outside this time.
Well, they're talking about having some music, having maybe some former players coming, so it's going to be huge. Oh my goodness! You know what? I got a bit when I get finished here working right now. I've been going through. You guys know I'm kind of analytical, and I try and get into the mind of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if I've actually ever been in there. I wish I could do like that Vulcan mind meld with Jerry Jones, just to take all that. So I'm looking at Tristan Hill, and I got a parallel for you guys. A parallel why and who that's guy's gonna be like. And if I'm right, it could be. Oh, there's E2 Blue. E2, you've been driving me crazy with this damn table, right? So E2's like, you need me to DJ? Okay, now I'm gonna date myself here. I'm getting to be like that old guy yelling at the kids to get off their lawn. One thing I realize I don't like anymore is loud music. I'm okay for a while, but like when we were up at Deep Creek, we're playing cards, we're watching football and things like that, having, just doing a whole lot of stuff. They got the music so loud all day long. And it's like, you're talking like this to talk to anybody. And it's just like, you know what? I want to have a conversation. So E2, if we have music, I want to be able to talk to somebody who's right here. And I know everybody wants to have the music. No, listen.
I want to hear the game.
It's a football game.
Forget about the music.
It's a football game. I want to be able to talk about football. I want to interact with the fan. I can listen to no, I don't even listen to the music in the truck. Usually I listen to sports talk. That's right. I'm listening to sports talk, or I'm listening to my brain talk. So, if we do music, we got to keep it a little on the down low. I'm not trying to do the whole, we're at the nightclub. B2 says, okay, never mind, then I got no, don't get me wrong, because I know the younger people want to have the music, they want to be, getting on down.
I want to hear the game.
I'm just an old fart.
I want to hear the game.
The day we'll finally get something.
I'm an old fart.
The other thing too, you can't make videos with the music on either.
It is hard to make the videos
because that's copyright.
But here's the thing, though: if we end up getting what I'm looking at is saying we get about 6 parking spaces, and we get SUVs and we get pickup trucks and everything else, we end up getting, because it's going to be September, which is warm here in DC, and it's during the day.
Yeah,
so we want to get about 5 or 6 of the tarps to go up there. Get about like a 65-inch TV to go out there, so that way we can have it there. Then you have the music and stuff on there. We're gonna have a guy who's gonna be bringing in a barbecue set and stuff. I'll be doing chicken wings and things. So this is gonna be huge.
What's that mountain?
Oh yeah, I found it. Hey, you know what I found out? E2? They have tailgate TV mounts for tailgating. So I'm gonna get one of those, so that way I can mount the TV on there.
I want to get a couple of them.
True. Can you link the TVs directly from one to the other? So like once you get it plugged into one, or actually I guess you would get a HD splitter.
Yeah, I think. Well, whatever the thing is, you might get a splitter.
Because that's like I have downstairs. I have the splitter, so it goes. Either way, we can have a couple of TVs.
As long as it's on Fox, you can use the antenna.
It should be on Fox because it was CBS last year. Well, Lauren, I tell you what, we've done 3 big ones, 2 at FedEx Field and 1 in Dallas. And last year's one in Washington, we ended up having 50-inch TV out there. We had about.
I think we did 2 in Dallas.
Okay, that's like settling.
The second one that we actually did the work on, we did the 1.
I thought we did 2 because the first one and then.
They're going to put the ball on the 2-yard
No,
line.
just the 1.
This is how they're going to decide.
Because the second one, I didn't go inside.
That was the one we did, the tailgate. But anyway, basically you just got a whole bunch of Cowboy fans talking trash, getting ready for the game, eating, drinking, and just hanging out. So for me, it's fun. I absolutely positively love it. Bumping Iron Maiden. Yeah, that's where I get to be the old man here. So E2, you still there? Back in the 70s, my grandfather would do a classical opera during the game. Oh yeah, okay. I'm not quite that old. First time. Laugh out loud at the trooper. Okay. So the planning for the season has already begun. Now, did you guys see? Have you guys noticed? And I'm scared. Well, E2, we're working on this thing, so I got to paint this over here. Michael Anthony Thickness over here is taking care.
Do what?
Thickness.
Don't even start that mess.
Is finishing the top. See, you're lucky that Michael was finishing it because Michael sands the hell out of stuff. Me, I don't have. I fail on that last little bit, but we might have to come over to your house to bring this thing to you this weekend. Because it's going to be too big for you to fit in your car, I can guarantee you that. But the planning for the season is already underway, and we're planning on trying to make this as big as possible, as fan-friendly as possible, and we're going to have a ball this year. And hopefully the Cowboys will be winning and doing really well.
Yeah, week 2 we got to win that.
Um,
I'm okay losing week 1.
have you guys noticed all the stuff that our team is doing together? I'm worried about the NFL coming down on the Cowboys because I'm sitting here looking at this. Okay, here's what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, right? We've seen the Cowboys out there fishing, reeling in the big fish, and you see that arm, you see those muscles there when you're reeling in, how you're working the muscles, pulling, getting the back work and stuff in, right? Fishing is exercise, right? Then we see them at Duke, they're running around, shooting hoops and stuff, right? Cardiovascular, right? And then you saw them with America's Finest, out there, special forces and things. They're out there exercising, shooting guns and everything else, That's muscle coordination. Isn't that kind of like practice? So knowing the NFL, they'll come down and say the Dallas Cowboys are getting in extra workouts. Oh, let's go ahead and fine them. Suspend them. Take a draft pick or something. Because you know how the NFL is, right? Am I crazy? You know what? The fact that Tariq Hill, we got these audio tapes of him and his baby mama and stuff talking about breaking the kid's arm and things, and the NFL's not putting him on an exempt list. They said that they're not, probably won't be on an exempt list while they quote unquote investigate it. Zeke, they investigated for 1.5 years.
Yeah, because it wasn't retained. People want to watch that stuff.
I guess, but
it's like Tom Brady and in his situation. They want to watch it unfold. That's all it is. It's just an entertainment value.
I guess, but it pisses me off.
Even though it's terrible. We're having
The NFL's putting a fine together for.
That's all it is.
Lyle Collins for Carl Joseph makes sense. For the question is, will it both teams be interested in doing a deal? Well, they would want to do. Okay, here's the problem. Getting good offensive linemen is a hard thing to do. Bottom line, you just don't have them growing on trees. So for the Raiders, they need somebody to protect Derek Carr, because here's the problem for the Raiders. You just spent all that money for Antonio Brown, okay? And that guy was getting the ball in Pittsburgh and still wasn't happy, right? What's going to happen when Derek Carr is down on the ground crying because he's getting lit up because they don't have any tackles? And Antonio Brown isn't getting the ball. Powder keg, okay? So in the same saying, I say about the Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns. You got all of these great players, you got Landry, you got Odell and everything else. There's only so many balls to go around. And when Odell doesn't get the ball or they're not winning, we know how he checks out. And that is another cancer that you look at that can happen. The one thing I can say about the Dallas Cowboys is anybody who was objectable to anything, anybody who was a Twitter bug or, whining, with the exception right now of Taco, is gone. This group of guys, you can look at it and say, listen, it's about one thing and one thing only. Check your emotions at the door. Check your selfishness at the door. We're about a family and a team that's about winning. It's not about stats. It's not about who gets the credit. It's about winning, and I love that.
When the FBI came out with this information, was it you who said that? Go ahead and explain that to the audience. I think that was the
FBI came out with what information? What are we talking about?
Came out, the FBI was in suspicion, was everybody in the public was going, oh, they are doing what? And now we've gotten to the point.
Oh, it must be basketball we're talking about.
People are reacting to it, and they're like,
anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I think Mike and Mike breaking up was not good for either of them. I don't think either of them, Mike Greenberg is on ESPN's main channel, and nobody watches Get Up. And then you have Mike Greenberg on their second channel, and I don't think anybody's really watching him like they used to either. And that's the sad thing, that, they were actually really, really good together. And that's the sad thing about sports in general.
We're talking about LeBron's legacy right now.
If Kyrie Irving doesn't hit that,
when you get successful, people get big heads and figure I don't need you.
Lost to Kevin Durant. He could be 0-9.
And here's the hater report over here.
Why when it comes to LeBron,
Let me turn this down because I ain't trying to get YouTube to bust
Who
me.
cares about LeBron? Man, he's old.
Yeah, we're still talking. Yeah.
LeBron James.
How do I feel about our offense? I feel good about our offense because I tell you what they'll talk about with the talking heads is they'll say, well, the Dallas Cowboys offense, was ranked middle of the pack, which is true. But here's what you have to look at. If you take the first half of the season and say, okay, throw that out the window. Let's look at the last 9 games. If you look at the last 9 games, the way they played that were 7-9, 7-9, is that right? Sorry, 8-10. I mean, 8-2. 8-2, the last games, including playoffs. 8-2. And you look at some of the numbers that they put up. I mean, remember, Dak had 360-some yards against the Giants, 460-some against the Eagles, and they were playing really well with Amari Cooper. If that offense takes off from where they were, with now a healthy Travis Frederick, a healthy Zach Martin, a Blue Hulk in Connor Williams, and that guy is looking scary. You put those things together now with a Randall Cobb, that offense could be like blowing up. And now you got to change the pace back in Tony Pollard. That offense could be scary and back to like we were before. And I'm looking at the defense, and it hits me what the Cowboys did with getting Tristan Hill. This is like a recreation of the Buccaneers defense that won that Super Bowl. And I'm going to say that, I don't want to jinx this, but Tristan Hill is the Warren Sapp for this defense, and that may be the final piece that they need. Because that 3 technique defensive tackle is huge. And if he can play anywhere near that level in that defense with DeMarcus Lawrence out there, with Robert Quinn. Yeah, Schultz can definitely learn, and Jarwin can definitely learn a lot from Jason Witten. As long as Jason Witten is not looking to be the guy that never comes off the field. Simeon Rice, oh yeah, that defense was great. You made my day on Undisputed. Oh, the bottom line is that their whole thing is to throw, try to throw gasoline on a dumpster fire and stuff. They're trying to make things where there really aren't things.
Yeah, Jones not even starting this year.
Witten was never that type of. Oh yeah, actually Witten was, because Witten did not come off the field. Witten was the reason why Michael Bennett was like, I got to get out of here. Any news on Rico Gathers? He's still on the team, and they still talk about him. So that's about as good as you're going to get.
They might not walk next year. They're going to keep him this year. He might walk next year when contract's up.
Oh, and that's the thing. See, a lot of times, like last year, we wanted to get a wide receiver last year, right? We needed a wide receiver.
And we did get one later in the draft.
Later in the draft, we did. But we wanted to get one first pick. And when you looked at the guys that were out there, none of those guys would have had the turnaround that we had with Amari Cooper. Now, we got lucky being able to get Amari Cooper. Had we not gotten Amari Cooper, shit would have been bad. This team would have been totally different. Probably Jason Garrett wouldn't be here. You may have questions about Dak Prescott being your quarterback, and this whole thing may have just been blown up. So, Amari Cooper saved everybody's job. All right, so that needs to dry for about an hour. Put another coat on this. This needs to dry for about all day. Holding on to Randy Gregory doesn't cost you anything. It literally costs. He is still on his rookie contract, and as long as he's suspended, you're not getting a cap hit. So why cut him? You've seen that he got 6 sacks last year. And if the NFL, with the collective bargaining agreement going on, may end up turning around and saying, okay, weed's okay like the NBA. If that's the case, you still have him, and he's dirt cheap. So there's no reason just to cut him. What are we working on? We're working on a behind. Oh, Dallas Lee. Wilson. Any news on wide receiver Wilson coming back? He's coming back. The question is, here's the problem with the Cowboys. You got a lot of guys that are coming back because you've got the 90-man roster. The question is, will they be able to stay on the team? And that is going to be the question because I'm choppy. Darn. Let me try something here. Wait. Let me. Does not work real well out here. So let me know if it's still choppy. But the problem is like you look at defensive line, you're going to have some guys that we like that are going to get cut. You got too many people right now. Tyrone Crawford might not make the team. And that is the truth. Tyrone Crawford's a team captain and stuff, but now you got Tristan Hill, that's in there. You got an Antoine Woods and things. You start looking at some of the veterans that are higher priced and saying, you know what? Maybe it's time to move on. And wide receiver wise, that's where you've got an Allen Hurns, you got a Noah Brown, you've got Ren Cobb, you've got Michael Gallup, you've got Amari Cooper. You can't keep everybody in the same thing with the offensive line. You got Salafalo, you got Lyle Collins, you've got Joe Looney, you've got Connor, you got Zach, you've got Tyron. You got a lot of people, and you can't fit all those guys in your roster. And that's where you look at Lyle Collins and say, you know what? If we can get a safety that might be an upgrade, that's worth, at least a 4th-round pick, you can make that move now, save some cap room, and keep getting younger. Yeah, but you can only keep 10 people on the practice squad. There's still a lot of people that are there. There's a lot of bodies.
And a lot of those guys are not even practice squad eligible.
Yeah, some of them aren't practice squad eligible, which means you got to be a younger guy too.
I think you have to play at least 6 games.
Well, we can only hope that Kellen Moore ends up utilizing the offense and opens it up, because now you've got some horses that can go down the field, and maybe we'll see. You want to mitigate the amount of turnovers that you make, but you also want to open up the field. What are we making? We're actually making a behind the sofa corner table at the moment, and then once this stuff dries, then we're going to be working on building some built-in bookcases this afternoon. So that's what we're doing. And I got some custom car pieces for an antique car to do. Do I honestly think that we will go to the Super Bowl? Well, here's what I will say. There is no guarantees for anybody. But you have, I look around the NFL right now and say we got as much talent as anybody else. Will we coach better than the other teams or get out coached? I can't guarantee that. Will we have a boneheaded call by an official that loses us a game?
Yes.
That's a possibility. Will we have a turnover at the wrong time that will doom us? All those things are things that can happen. And understand, getting to a Super Bowl, you not only have to have a lot of talent, you got to have the breaks. You got to be able to have the health. And there's just too many variables. But are you in a position to be one of those teams that are challenging? Without a doubt. So that's the way I look at it. But anyway, we're going to take a break. We're done here in the shop right now. I'm going to put the link in for my other channel. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers on there, I can start live streaming like I'm doing here in the shop, on the field and things like that. And then that way we also have a backup. Plus building a new stadium helps too. Which team are we talking about?
How about the Browns? They're about to build a new stadium, 2028.
If Moore can't get it done, then Garrett will replace him as offensive coordinator. Yeah, but here's the thing about him being offensive coordinator. We were 8-8 when he was the offensive coordinator, and they took that from him. You would have felt better if Witten was an assistant coach. I'm not. I'm actually happy because here's the thing to me. A bunch of those sacks that were on Dak, it was like Dak was looking for something that wasn't there. And it was Jason Witten, the security blanket tight end. And I think Jason Witten can still be there. I would rather be able to pass the ball to Jason Witten and get 6-7 yards than take a sack any day. And that's what he's going to be able to enable us to do. He's also going to be able to, here's the thing, 12 personnel. When we've got two tight end sets, which is normally a Dallas Cowboys bread and butter running situation, okay? I want you to imagine this. You're the defensive coordinator. You've got Jason Witten on one side, Blake Jarwin on the other side. You got Randall Cobb on one side. On the other side, you got Amari Cooper. What do you do as a defensive coordinator? Robert Apakian, thank you very much for the super chat. What do you do as a defensive coordinator? Because you've got 7 blockers in front of you and Zeke Elliott in the backfield. Do you put the safety in the middle and make it an 8-man front? Do you do that? Because if you trust Dak Prescott, then what you're then looking at is we got the safety in the box. I'm going to go ahead and have Amari Cooper do a slant route. I'm going to have Randall Cobb go deep. If you don't put the safety in there, you just run the ball because I got numbers. So either way, now you're at a catch-22 because before when we had Rico in there, they knew we're not. Before Blake Jarwin started catching the ball, that's a run formation all day. All day, so we're going to put the safety in there because we don't have confidence that your wide receivers can beat us. With Jason Witten in there, who can catch, because again, you can have him do what he always does with his slow ass, find the soft spot. And what you can also do with that is you roll Dak Prescott out. You have Zeke fake the dive. Fake the dive to him, roll out. And one of those guys, they're both going to have single coverage. One of them's going to be open. And it's going to be to the pylon. That's what you can do with the Jason Witten that you couldn't do before when you had a blocking tight end. These guys can do both. So I'm excited as can be on that. Defenses can't bracket because Beasley's not here. Yeah, you're exactly right. Now, see, Beasley was a good receiver, but Beasley was not that deep threat. You've got guys now, all of them can go to the house. Michael Gallup can, Randall Cobb can, Amari Cooper can. And you can play games by moving them around in different positions and getting mismatches. And that's the thing with Dez was always on the outside. Cole Beasley was always in the slot. And we only ran 5 or 6 routes. So you knew pretty much what you were going to get. If you all of a sudden see Amari Cooper in the slot and Michael Gallup on the outside and then Randall Cobb, it's just like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And we never had anything that was mismatches. So that's where we are with that kind of stuff. So I'm excited that this offense should be a top 10 offense. But, time will tell. The great thing is everybody is getting healthy right now. Everybody's looking like they're in great shape. You're seeing Tyron Smith. This time last year, Tyron Smith was in California working with back specialists and stuff, trying to get his back right. Right now, Tyron Smith is out there fishing. And if you don't think pulling in a big fish with a bad back is something you can do, to me, that says a lot. So, if he's healthy, if Zach Martin's knee, where he sprained it in camp, is healthy for the season. If Travis Frederick is over the syndrome, oh my God, we are ready to feast on some teams. But, of course, USA Today says we're only the 15th best team in the NFL. Isn't that some shit? No wonder newspapers are going out of business. Well, as always, friends, I'm Mark Holmes and we'll see you guys later on. I'm going to be doing some stuff with West Coast Cowboys later on today. We're going to be talking about why the Dallas Cowboys failed against Tennessee, the Colts, and the Rams.
So Tennessee's easy.
Huh.
That was Amari Cooper's first game with Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
That was part of it.